If you're in the market for a wood lathe, I am here to help you. Today I'm going to give you information about lathes in different price points that offer different features, different capacities. This is going to be great information to help you pick the right machine for your shop. Now let me start over here with a representative of what's called a benchtop lathe. These machines are very versatile. Their development has come a long way in recent years. Let me show you what you've got here. With these machines, we want to be concerned with the swing and with the spindle capacity. So here with these benchtop lathes, the good news is these are the least expensive machines that we're going to talk about. For about the price of a good portable power tool, you could get one of these lathes in your shop. In swing capacity, generally we're talking about 10 or 12 inches. In spindle capacity, maybe 12 or 15 inches. The motors on these machines hover right around a half a horsepower or so. So in the motor range, it's going to be the smallest motor of what we're about to talk about. And in the capacity range, smallest capacities. Now that's not necessarily bad. It's plenty of capacity to do halfway decent sized bowls, some pretty good spindles, especially in the category of pen turning and that kind of work. Now the really cool thing with these machines is that you can get extensions for the end of them, so I can build them out this way. If you want to do longer spindles, like table legs or baseball bats, we can add on to the end and get that extra capacity. We can't change the swing capacity on these, so whatever they come with, that's what you're going to live with. Now it's common on lathes when we talk about speed control that they have a system of step pulleys. Now what's going to happen when you use this machine is that you're going to get started with your turning at a given speed. When you're ready to do a speed change, shut the machine off, change the belt to another step. That makes your speed change. Close the cover, you go back to work. So every time you do a speed change, you're going to stop the machine, unplug it because you're opening the hood, do your speed change, close it back up, plug it back in, go back to work. Now comparatively, you're going to see some changes as we work our way up the line here. So cap this off, couple things. Remember, we've got maybe a 10 or 12 inch bowl capacity, 12 to 15 inch spindle capacity, horsepower, about a half horsepower on the motor. What's really nice about these is at the end of the day, I can pick this machine up, put it away. I know a lot of turners who travel in RVs, they take these machines with them. They get where they're going, they put it on a picnic bench, they do their turning, tuck it back in the RV at the end. So the portability, the small footprint, that's a great benefit of these mini lathes. Let's look at one that's one size bigger. Now the price tag goes up a little bit here, but we get all sorts of cool stuff with this one. The capacity out of the box is quite a bit greater between centers. So this one we can actually do a full-size baseball bat, can do table legs as well. So I have more spindle capacity, I also have more bowl capacity. The motor is bigger. Now talking about bowl capacity, that's that swing, here's something that's really cool. If I slide my tool rest out of the way, what this one offers is I can loosen this and I can spin the headstock. This increases my ability to do outboard turning here. So not only does it have a bigger capacity over the bed, but I've also got the ability to mount bowls out here, which further increases the capacity. That's the purpose of this mount out here. I can take my tool rest off, bring it to this side of the lathe, and have my tool rest mounted over there. So bigger spindles, bigger bowls, bigger horsepower motor to support that. So it's going to let me work my machine a little bit harder. I've also got a little bit more weight here. Now weight and lathes is a good thing. We want to have a heavy machine, so there's a lot of cast iron here. It helps dampen the vibration that you might have when you're first starting your turnings and they're not quite perfectly round yet. Now on the mini lathe I talked about speed control. It's common that you'll find a step pulley there. You will find some mini lathes with an electronic speed control. This machine has what's called mechanical speed control. So the way this one works, let me lock that in place for you. When I turn this on, I can control the speed on this one by spinning this dial. Here's how it goes. So I started at the low end. That takes me all the way up to the high end, or back down to points in between. Now a couple things I like about this. Obviously, I don't have to open the head up, move a belt from pulley to pulley. I'm shifting on the fly. So as I'm working on my turning, I can change the speed fluidly as I go from step to step to step. So it's a lot more convenient. With mechanical speed control like this, you do want to keep in mind that you need to make those speed changes while the machine is running. Otherwise, you can hurt the mechanism inside here. So you want to make sure that you're doing that on the fly, not while the machine is not running. So cap this one off, a little bit deeper reach into your pocketbook, but bigger capacity, more weight, it's going to let you do bigger turnings. A little bit less likely you're going to pick this machine up and tuck it away when you're done, but you can get mobile bases for some of these machines to help you roll it away when you're done. Now, let's go up one more step. This machine is really a beauty. I'll tell you what, in weight, it's about twice the machine that we just looked at. Remember that a lot of weight is a good thing, dampens vibration. We have a bigger bowl capacity on this one. Now, out of the box, it's got a short spindle capacity, but like the mini lathe, we can build onto the end to increase that spindle capacity and get the gain that we need out there for those big table legs or baseball bats. So we can add that on. Now, the weight is going to buy us the ability to do big bowls. Part of what we want there is also real good control of the RPM. This is a smart lathe. On this one, the speed is actually controlled by a computer. So I can work this a couple of ways. Think of this a little bit like a dimmer on a light. That dimmer type switch is what's going to control the speed of this machine. So on this one, once I'm running, I can dial my RPMs up or down. I can make those speed changes when the spindle is not turning because it's electronic, not mechanical. Now remember, referring back to the mini lathes, I said some mini lathes have a system similar to this, which gives you that rheostat, that dimmer switch type control of the speed over there. Here on this one, it actually goes a big step beyond that. Remember I said it's a smart lathe. With this machine, what happens is, as I'm cutting and I'm applying a load to my work, this is smart enough to know that it needs to provide a little bit more power to maintain RPM. One step beyond that, on this machine, if my chisel catches, which can happen when you're turning, the machine can actually stop itself so that you don't hurt yourself with a bad catch or you don't break anything on the machine. So it's got a little safety device built in there so that if something is going wrong on your turning, it'll automatically stop itself. Then I can turn it back on and reset the system. So the speed control, I can dial up and down the speed. I can preset the speed while it's not running, then turn it on. I can also preset various speeds on here, kind of like programming your radio. I can pick a couple of favorite speeds so I can very, very quickly step up and down to those speeds. The other thing that this provides is the ability to run in reverse. So what I just did here is I pushed the reverse button. It's smart enough that it's warning me that I'm about to run in reverse. Gives me a little beep there, so I'm doing that intentionally. The great thing about reverse is when you're working on bowls, sometimes it's easier to cut out here on the outside of the bowl instead of here. Then you don't have to lean over the lathe as much. When you get to the sanding step, it's real nice to sand in both directions. Sand while it's going forward and sand while it's going in reverse. Gives you a little bit better surface finish on your project. So the reversing feature is really, really cool. I love that. This one also has the ability to go outboard. So wrapping this one up, bigger price tag. The electronic speed control is a wonderful thing. It's very easy to get spoiled in your turning by it. We've got bigger capacities and the ability to go further with our spindle turning if we add the extensions on. The weight is going to let us do massive bowl turnings on this, coupled with the very, very smart speed control that this provides. So we've got kind of a small, medium, large. There's a lathe out there in the marketplace for everybody. I hope this helped you find the one that's best for you.